conversation with Greg Brown is brought to you by our friends at Delaney and Fritz PC and A&A Construction. Greg in Bradenton, Florida today. Greg, how are you today?
Todd, I'm doing great. How you doing?
Fabulously well. Fabulously.
Good.
Have you ever seen a situation like that yesterday when the Orioles wanted to hang around for the bottom of the ninth and the umpire said, not us?
No. Well, I've certainly seen situations over the years where, it was a failure to communicate, it looked like yesterday. Normally, the managers, before the inning begins, the top of the inning, will go out on the field, talk to each other about, hey, in this case, Brandon Hyde is the manager of the Orioles. They're up from Sarasota. They bust up about 25 minutes away. Mm-hmm. And Brandon Hyde goes to Derek Shelton and says, hey, we have at least one more pitcher we want to see get some work in. So even though we are behind heading into the top of the ninth inning, if we don't tie it up, if we don't come back, we still want to play. So we would have you guys bat in the bottom of the ninth inning, even though you're ahead. The game would be over already. So that's fine. Then they go to the umpires. Hey, listen, we need to play that bottom half of the ninth regardless. Okay, fine. This case, nobody apparently told the umpires. So the umps, after the top of the ninth inning, it's 7-4 Pirates, last out recorded. They're anxious to get out of there. They make their way out toward the right field line, and they're about three-quarters of the way down that line because the parking lot is just beyond the building where they and others park. And all of a sudden, they start to see some Orioles players take the field for the bottom of the ninth. They stop, they turn around, they look toward home plate in the dugouts, and there's Brandon Hyde, the manager of the Orioles, with his arms up like, hey, we still want to play. One of the umpires, the home plate umpire, looks at the other three and says, oh, geez, looks like they want to play a half an inning. Nobody told me. What do you guys want to do? Let's get out of here. So they kept walking and they left. And, it was like backyard baseball yesterday. It was funny to watch. It was fun to see. The catcher called the balls and strikes for the Orioles pitcher. At one point, he called a strike on him, which was hilarious.
Does anything say spring training baseball more than that, though?
No, you're right. That encapsulates right there exactly what spring training is all about and what baseball should be all about. And you think about it, Bob Walk and I have kidded about this over the years when we've talked about replay and umpires. And Bob has said, why don't they just let the players police themselves? Mm-hmm. And, think about it. Well, especially like you're hit by a pitch. We go through this replay sometimes, and the umpire say, no, he got hit. What if the batter says, actually, no, that didn't hit me?
Yeah.
Or he slides into second base and the umpire calls the runner safe, but the runner knows that the tag was applied before he got to the bag, and he says, actually, he did tag me. And he starts running. It would be like golf. Golf is the only sport, to my knowledge, that is self-policed. But it was fun to watch.
Honor system baseball.
Honor system, yes.
I don't know how far that would actually work, but
it wouldn't fly. But it's fun to think about. It's fun, although let's face it, we've been playing sports our whole lives. Pick up basketball, touch football. You argue, but you play, and nobody. Nobody gets hurt based on that. On occasion, maybe over the years, but you get through it, and that's part of life.
I imagine there are a few guys, though, that their uniform gets nicked with a pitch. They don't want to go take first base. They want to swing the bat.
There was a case, Todd, about, this had to be at least 25 years ago, a guy by the name of Albert Bell, who played for Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
Big, burly, you might remember him. Big, burly, and an intimidating guy. He actually got hit by a pitch, and it was obvious. He's at the plate for Cleveland, then the Indians. And the pitcher delivers, and he obviously got hit like on the forearm. And he just stood there in the batter's box. And the umpire takes his mask off and says, well, obviously that hit you could take first. And Bell stood there in the batter's box and argued with the umpire that I don't want to take first. I want to hit this guy.
That's a beautiful thing. And with Albert Bell, he was so surly and so big and strong. Who'd argue with him?
Oh, I know. And how'd you like to be the pitcher? The pitcher. That apparently, I didn't even hurt him. Like, he wants to try. He thinks I'm so bad, he would do better if I tried to throw a strike to him.
Oh, yeah. Ultimate insult going on
Yeah,
there.
yep.
Hey, Greg, let's take a look at the pitchings that you've seen so far in spring training baseball. Some of those starters have looked pretty good. JT Brubaker with a bit of a struggle the other day, but he righted himself, too.
He did. You always take into account a couple things. And he did. He made some adjustments to his credit, but he also wasn't facing Murderer's Row later. I mean, the Phillies didn't bring, but maybe one starting player, Alec Boehm, their third baseman. So once he got through that time, now he didn't get a call early. It could have been a strike three call, and that you take that into account. There's a fly ball that wasn't caught.
Mm-hmm.
But once he got through the kind of the bottom of the lineup, he did take care of that. I'm a big JT Brubaker fan, so now he's not going to be the ace of any pitching staff. JT knows who he is, and if he can give the Pirates innings to round out the rotation, that's kind of all they need from him. He needs to be a strike thrower. He needs to not give up home runs, which was a bugaboo of his a couple years ago. So far, the guys that have most impressed, it's still early. We haven't even played a week of games yet. But for me, the starter that was so impressive was Mitch Keller. Yeah. He dominated he started on Saturday. In fact, he'll start tomorrow against the Yankees at Lecom Park in Bradenton, which will be, I don't know if the Yankees are going to bring a lot of their big boppers, but it'll still be good to see him perform against them. Starting pitch, Rich Hill, he's the 43-year-old, the veteran on the team, pitched in a kind of a simulated game before the gates opened yesterday at Lecom. So no telling really anything meaningful there. Today, Johan Oviedo will pitch for the Pirates in Lakeland against the Tigers. One of the players the Pirates got from the Cardinals last year, and a chance to maybe make the rotation. So this will be a pretty big start for him. And, we're kind of hopping and bopping along.
Yeah, well, Derek Shelton, he's got so many options this year for the pitching rotation that it's amazing. He's got to actually make some choices and some hard ones.
Yeah, I'm always knocking on wood, Todd, as is every manager and general manager and broadcaster and fan, because every spring training for over a century, you try to get your work in, and you try and leave camp with the fewest injuries possible. I mean, look already what has happened in the last couple days in Major League Baseball. 2 gigantic injuries. Joe Musgrove, the former Pirate, now with the Padres, broke his left big toe and is out for at least a couple months. Gavin Lux, the starting shortstop for the Dodgers, tore up his knee. He's out for the whole year.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I'm watching. Continue to build the innings. Let's get to Cincinnati pretty much intact.
Yeah, Musgrove dropped a kettlebell on
Jeez, I'll tell you. That's another issue entirely. I had a discussion the other day with Kevin Young about this. Tyler Glasnow. I love Tyler.
He's hurt again.
I love Tyler Glasnow. But for me, the picture I saw of him a couple weeks ago when he reported to camp, big, muscle-bound guy. Like, wait a minute. Pitchers aren't supposed to be Waitland, this is the get off my lawn, Greg Brown, old man, but pitchers aren't supposed to be weightlifters. It's why when Shane Baz was drafted first by the Pirates, heck, I'm just a fan. I'm not no expert, but I remember interviewing Baz in the media room that day, and I was stunned because his father is a champion weightlifter. I was stunned at how big Baz was. I mean, muscle-bound.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Baz has been hurt. He's out with Tommy John. So anyway, that's another issue entirely. And I'm just glad so far, like I said, knock on wood, Pirates have been healthy through less than a week of camp.
Yeah, a couple of moments left with Greg Brown. Greg, I wanted to ask you this, the AT&T network thing. I know you probably don't have input from it, but I'm sure you're very, very interested in what happens with the Pirates on TV.
Well, very much so, and I've been talking to guys on our crew, of course, executive producers, directors, and so on, people at AT&T, and we and they have been assured that regardless, the games will go on. The games will be produced. They will be directed. They will be, in air quotes, Todd, they will be televised.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, televised has a different meaning in this day and age because you can watch TV on your device. And so it'll be streamed or it'll be over the air, whatever. The games will be there, will be presented and available. It's just a matter of how that happens. And we are in for an interesting, rocky month in baseball and the Pirates and the Penguins and others. I don't know what's going to happen. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that the Boston Red Sox, for all intents and purposes, own the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
I mean, think of that. And the man in charge of the Penguins and the Fenway Sports Group, Tom Werner, has a huge TV background, was once on the executive committee of Major League Baseball 30 years ago. So who knows where this ends up.
And LeBron James is a part of that ownership group, too.
Yeah, exactly right. So I could be working for LeBron James.
There you go. Well, show him your moves and you'll be fine.
Exactly right.
One other thing, Greg, I wanted to ask you about, and this is, behind the scenes, you get to know some of these Pirate players, and some better than others, and some you can say, well, that's a really cool guy, and that guy ended up, he was a jerk, whatever it happens to be. Everybody has their personalities. But it was really, really fun yesterday for us to find out about Russell Martin and A.J. Burnett for the first pitch. What did you think when you heard that?
Well, they're two of my favorite players over the years, and I had heard through Jim Tredinich is now the Pirates historian. He had talked to me about this oh my gosh, at least a month ago, if not longer, that was in the works, and he was going to present that, and had talked to Bob Nutting about it, and Nutting liked it, and Travis Williams, the team president, and I was actually with Jim last week at Pirate City, and he said, it's on Bob's list, and he had talked to Bob after a workout, and he came back, and he said, well, Bob's going to make the call to ask them both. So Nutting called AJ and Russell, invited them to do it. Of course, they were all in, and it's going to make for. It's going to be. We've had some great opening day. There's nothing like opening day in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
The pomp and circumstance, and this one is going to be. It's going to be near the top of all timers. When you think about Andrew McCutchen returning and the announcement, I'm so honored to MC those pregame ceremonies to be able to be there at home plate and announce him onto the foul line in the starting lineup, and the sellout crowd, what they're going to do, and then to watch AJ go up to the mound and throw to Russell Martin, it's going to be truly unforgettable. Wow. And I know tickets have been selling like hotcakes anyway after McCutchen announced that he was coming back and the Pirates had signed him. Well, now after this announcement yesterday, I can't imagine those seats are going to be available all that much longer at PNC Park.
Oh, yeah. What is that? That's April 7th, White Sox, right?
Yes, a 4-1-2 game.
Too much fun. Much fun. Hey, Greg, this has been fun. Thanks for spending some time with us again today.
Todd, look forward to talking to you Friday.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.